don't recognize you. You've made a terrible mistake in coming here. Do you feel it yet? The cold rush through your veins, the stiffness in your joints. Only a matter of time now. You really haven't figured it out. You're denser than those stone fiends. Master Rethan brought me on to study a Daedric text, a formula for turning living flesh into a substance akin to ebony. Not a perfect match, but close enough. Something like that. But what does it matter? I'll be frozen solid soon. Black as midnight. A commodity. Nothing more. Ironic. You mean to rob me, I suppose. The scroll's just there. Have a care with it. Wealth always comes at a price. None. Well, none that I've discovered anyway. I speak modestly when I say that if there was a cure, I would have found it already. I guess I could squander my remaining hours searching for a remedy, but I'm an alchemist, a daedrologist. We don't trouble ourselves with things like hope. I leave that nonsense to priests and children, the mentally ill.
Ah, I'm glad to see you made it back in one piece. So, what have you learned? Anything? What? Well, that sounds ghastly. To think that my own brother would be capable of such a thing. We must move quickly. Did you find any evidence? I'll need something concrete if I'm to convince the Hlalu trade barons to intercede. Well done. I have a final task for you, if you're willing. I must take this to the trade baron, Councillor Riveth. He's staying at the Balmora Inn. Alas, Benna has many contacts in town. If he hears that I'm meeting Riveth, he may try to flee. Travel to the Rethan Manor House and detain Benna. Once I've explained matters to Riveth, he'll send Hlalu constables to collect my brother. After this, I'll ask nothing more of you. You have my word.
The last piece of the puzzle. Time to tie up loose ends.
Malarethan. Oh, sweet. I'm going to need a stiffer drink.
Oh, hi there.
You don't appear to be holding my drink, so I'm sure I have no interest in you. Off with you. I am. Young Mahler and I were talking about the sudden success of his mining enterprise, built on some irregularities that I'd prefer not to discuss. Not that it's any of your business. Who are you? Why are you meddling in Hlalu business? My. This is damning. Dear Mahler tried to hang this whole business around his brother's neck. And yours. A prudent, albeit sloppy affair. House Hlalu can ill afford such a scandal, and I hate to be lied to. Kill Mahler, and I will reward you. What would I do with him? Chain him to a post? His life no longer serves the house's interests. I don't expect an outlander to understand, but this needs to be done. Honestly, I doubt he'll give you a choice in the matter. His city residence, I expect, just across the river. Do be quick about this. I'm anxious to be done with the Brothers Rethan. No. What scroll? Don't tell me there's more to this fetching disaster. Does it now? Listen carefully. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone else. If Mahler has this formula on him, bring it to me. The reward will be significant. We cannot let this get out, and we cannot let it fall into the wrong hands. By the three, what a mess. I'll put some of my Oathman on it. Oathman I can trust. If we can clear out the riffraff, it might be salvageable. If not, we'll simply collapse the thing. Better to bury it than let some fool stumble upon Mahler's folly.
finish this myself.
Quietly now. Is it finished? Well then, this unfortunate little tale comes to an end. I've already dispatched some of my best agents to clean up Rethon Manor. We'll tend to Marla's apartment and the mine next. Well done. Now, what of this mysterious scroll? Excellent. Best hand it over to me. Something so dangerous should not fall into the wrong hands. House Hlalu can keep it safe, or destroy it if we deem it necessary. This will earn you some favor with our house. I'll even double your pay. You've proven to be a reliable assistant. House Hlalu values reliability. I would say it's been a pleasure, but this whole affair has left me with quite a headache. Still, I may call upon you again in the future. Here, double pay as promised.
It was wise of you to seek the favor of my people. Less so, perhaps, to aid the Chleron. But I suppose we shall see what comes of that in time. Is there something I can do for you? I see. Yes, I have been using our time gathered here to urge the other tribes to adapt and make allies. It's vital to prepare if we want to survive the change that's to come. It hasn't been easy, but perhaps you could become a decisive example. Simply show a willingness to help the tribes, or even just a willingness to learn their ways. Go and speak with them. Show them you can be trusted, and you will be rewarded with the favor of the tribes. Meet with the Ashlander tribes. Hear their problems and offer your aid. Show your respect for their traditions, and you will surely find someone willing to speak with you. Help all you can, and let them see not everyone is our enemy.
Life in the Ash can be deadly for Outlanders. You will need what I sell if you hope to survive. Our stocking?
A newcomer, just as the wise woman foresaw. Enter and be welcome, Outlander. I wonder, however, are you willing to prove your friendship? Daedric shrines, remnants of a better time, dot the land. We seek to preserve the memory of these places. Aid me and gain the favor of the Urshulaku tribe. A large number of our people have turned away from the Daedra to follow the false teachings of the three usurpers. Their time won't last forever, though, and the Dark Elves will once again seek the true faith. We need to be ready for that day. Head along the coast to the ruins of Yazamadan that overlooks the sea. It was once a shrine to Mehrunes Dagon. Find any relics you can and bring them to me. History fades if measures aren't taken.
Nothing to do but keep at it.
Ah, another hunter seeks a worthy quarry. Weakness has no place in Vardenfell. Constantly test yourself and harden your resolve, or this land will devour you. We stay sharp by hunting deadly beasts and claiming trophies from each kill. I wonder, are you up to such a challenge? Do you know the mighty Nyx Ox? A noble creature, but occasionally one so large and ill-mannered appears, and gives us no choice but to slay it. We call such a monster Great Zexin, a title that passes to the largest, most dangerous Nyx Ox in the land. Great Zexin has been spotted to the northeast of the Erebenimsum camp near Lenchulov Tinkt. Nyx Ox and other creatures gather near the yellow rocks and pools in the area. Search for signs of Great Zexin's passing, and follow the tracks to your quarry.
For the 80th time, help is on the way. I've received assurances from House Redoran. They will handle this trouble in the mine. You need only be patient.
Patient? The foreman just dragged another egg hand out of the mine and he's worse than the rest. This is on your head, Mobena.
I presume you've come here seeking work? I'm afraid the mine may be closed for some time yet. Not too long, of course. Anyway, feel free to stay as long as your coin purse allows. Our innkeeper will no doubt appreciate the business. Some of our egg hands have fallen ill. We've elected to keep them in the mines until we find the source of the sickness. Just a precaution, mind you. Surveyors from House Redoran should be arriving any minute to, you know, survey. Trapped? No, don't be absurd. It's not as if they're itching to leave. Look, House Redoran will sort this out. Speak to Foreman Lothdar if you have other questions. He's just over there, by the mine entrance. I have other matters to attend to.
Can't you hear it? The song, it's all wrong. We have to fix it.
Bah. Fresh air's not going to do the trick, boss. Whatever's down there has still got a grip on him.
Well, it's about damn time. You daffy House Redoran types have... Wait, you're not House Redoran? Ah, should have known better. You'd best move on, stranger. This mine's cursed. It'll snatch you up just like poor Thogbruth if you aren't careful. Sorry for growling and moping. We've just been waiting for these damned Redoran surveyors so long. Kind of lost hope, you know? My egg hands are in buckets of trouble. Some strange noise is turning their brains to pudding, driving the Kwama mad too. It's put a hex on them. They won't budge. They just pace and hum and blubber like idiots. Practically had to beat Thogbruth senseless to drag him out here. Ugh, something in that noise, that song. It's got them by the beards and won't let go. Maris, mercy. Thank you, friend. I'm supposed to wait until the Redoran surveyors show up, but to some God with that. I want my people home safe. Do what you need to do, but don't stay in there long. I don't want that song to claim you too.
We'll deal with the problem as promised, Lord Thonlin. But we need to hire protection if the ruin is as infested as you say.
I would employ ghost hunters who can't hunt ghosts. Just find your help and get to work before I change my mind.
If only all spirits could be dealt with by simply slashing away at them.
I'm going to take a moment to make an assumption. You're somewhat versed in fighting, or at the very least defending yourself. It's your aura and the swagger that give it away. Are you looking for work by chance? My outfit specializes in spirit intervention, investigating hauntings and putting lingering spirits to rest. Spirits aren't always welcoming, though. In cases like our current job, we need someone to watch our backs. We're to cleanse a malicious presence on lands recently acquired by our employer. I know very little about the area, other than the Ashlanders think it's cursed. Whatever the presence is, it likely won't sit idle while we exorcise it. Hence, you. Our destination is an old fortress far to the north, accessible only by a small pass in the mountains. There's an Ashlander camp outside of it where we'll be stopping for supplies. We may find out more from them.
Balara Nama I, traveler. May the spirits walk among you as an ally, and your shadow never stray from your feet. It is the language of my people's religion and beliefs. It dates back to ancient times when the true gods were worshipped, when mortals and immortals lived side by side as equals. It's very old. I can tell you more about it, for a donation, of course. You have a valid point. I suppose I have to stay competitive or risk letting this old, grand religion fall into total obscurity. The name of our religion is so ancient that the mortal tongue cannot speak its name, but it holds the secrets of divinity. Its true followers long ago achieved perfection and left this world behind. Most of their teachings are lost to time. I found their lost archives and scrolls. Just a fraction of the truth, traveler, but enough. The path of perfection is open to me, and you may follow it. For another small donation, I can give you a copy of the holy texts. Ask me when we return.
Greetings, fellow traveler of whatever town we're in. Speak to me as a friend. For that is what we shall become. That is, unless you have darkness in your heart, then we will part as the greatest of enemies. For I only mingle with those pure. Righteous? I know. It is the many years I've studied underneath the tutelage of the noblest and most honorable of lords and ladies. My teachers would give their food to the hungry, their money to the poor, their clothes to the naked. They were. So much so they ended up on the streets with no home, no money, and no food. But they had purity in their hearts, and that's what was important. Until they caught the plague, then most of them died. But they died with honor.
noise. Swimming in there. Can you see the melody? The harmony? Please, you have to see it. A song. The song. Do you see how it shimmers? Do you see its tones, its colors? It should help make things clear, make things whole, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It has to be fixed. Open your ears. You have to find it, the melody. It's shattered and hidden, you see? Tucked away in the noise, but it's there. It has to be, it has to be!
It's not time yet. What are you? No! I can't leave. Not yet. I tried to follow the foreman. I did. But it won't let me. Not until everything is as it should be. Not until everything is perfect. Yes! Yes, the song! You've heard it. I can tell. It should be quiet. It isn't ready. It isn't perfect. But someone interfered. The ground shook and... Oh, the meddling! They broke it! They ruined it! Yes, yes, but not one of us. No, it's a tinkerer, a meddler, poking around and breaking things, soiling them. He has to be punished. Yes, the song has to be pure, has to be perfect. If not, the consequences... Oh, the consequences!
Dead and gone just like the rest. Quama, Breton, Queen, Egghand, all the same. All just meat. They killed her. Killed their own queen. Do you see what it does? What it's doing? Broken. All broken. Just the mind for now. But soon, everywhere. It's spun out of control. Can't you feel it? It echoes and grows. Echoes and grows. Soon it will be too loud for the mind to contain. Everyone will hear it. Everyone. Then... No! We have to fix it. Has to be fixed. Has to be perfect.
really thought I had it that time. Curse you, you buzzing hunk of junk! This is spite, isn't it? I'm sorry I broke you, alright? Oh, I should never have touched this damn thing. Stupid Revis. Just have to... gracious! You nearly gave me a heart attack. You're a Redoran enforcer, aren't you? Look, I'm near to fixing this thing, I promise. Wait, how are you not a mumbling imbecile? Don't bother answering. I can't hear a thing. Ears are plugged, see? Civilized? Oh dear, you're just as mad as the others, aren't you? Look, try to focus. This resonator is broken. I need to set these dials to the correct sequence, but I can't hear the tones. Are you aware of any sequence it could be set to? Just... Excellent, he said, expecting the worst. Just turn these dials until you think they're in the correct sequence. That lever there seems to execute the pattern. I'm sure that if the dials are in the correct position, something will happen. That didn't work, but keep trying. There are only 1,024 possible combinations after all. We'll have it in no time. Something's happening. I think you've got it. Yes, that's it. It's working. I hope.
What happened? Come on, let's get out of here.
Ha! See? Everything worked out. I have a small camp set outside of this room. We can talk there. The hero of the hour. You have my deepest thanks and most heartfelt compliments. The fact that you fixed it in your clearly addled condition. Exemplary work. Just exemplary. Seems like it's quieted down. I do hope it stays that way. I can offer little more than a guess. When you corrected the melody, the resonator returned to a dormant state. Some kind of slumbering function to conserve energy, maybe. What matters is that it's quieted down. Thank goodness. Oh dear, I hope so. Their exposure was fairly limited. If they had remained for another day, though, difficult to say. Please, let the foreman know how truly sorry I am. If there's anything I can do to help, feel free to call on me at my tower. I do wish I could have done a more thorough study of the resonator. What do you think they would do with such a device? Enslavement, perhaps? No, not enslavement. Oh, that's too obvious. Please, after all you've done, I'd say you're entitled to ask me several somethings. A dwarven resonator. A tonal amplification device meant to alter thought patterns. That's my hypothesis, anyway. The tones clearly have a powerful effect on the brain. To the dwarves, though, it might have sounded like a lovely song and nothing more. Well, not slavery in the conventional sense. The tone wouldn't compel the listeners to work so much as it would make working a source of profound pleasure. So the workers would be eager to work, you see? They might have even paid for the privilege. Well, again, slavery is a clumsy description. It's more like a transaction. Labor in exchange for brief, pleasurable sensations. Much like the skooma trade. I guess that's not much better than slavery, is it? Of course, this is all just conjecture.
You did it! My egg hands started stumbling out of the mine a few minutes ago. They've got some bumps and scrapes and more than a few headaches, but otherwise no worse for the wear. What happened down there? Dwarven what? How did... I've worked those mines for years, and I've never seen a scrap of dwarf mischief. Where is this snow-backed dark elf? It was that Telvanni skeever Revis, wasn't it? Huh. More Telvanni trickery. And to think, I'd almost warmed to that little dolt. Ugh. Enough grumbling. I'm just grateful that my people are alive and safe. It's only because of you, friend. I'll raise a bottle of mead to you every night, from now until world's end. Please, take this. You've more than earned it for what you've done. With a couple of days' rest and a few stiff drinks, we'll be up and running again. I guess I should go check on the Queen at some point. She's probably a nervous wreck. Always been a little skittish, that one. What? No, that can't be. The Queen's the heart of the mine. We mine eggs, for Mara's sake. Can't very well run an egg mine without eggs, can you? I'm sorry. It's been a rough few days. It was that damned dwarf magic, wasn't it? Revis, I want you to find that scrawny little wizard and tell him the bills come due. He wants to help? Well, now's the hawking time. If he doesn't fix this, we'll sick the Redarin on him. He doesn't want that, believe me. Revis lives just north of here. You'll see a tangle of old rope bridges and rocks. Kine only knows what that wizard does out there. Make sure you really lay into him, huh? I'd do it myself, but I've got to take care of this lot.
I knew that Telvanni would betray us eventually. We should have cast him out years ago.